live via Facebook streaming, YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this morning's live streaming from our studios in Trinidad. Choices, Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, choices that you make are always mechanical. Choices that you make are always mechanical. We live on the periphery. We live only to the extent that society, your cultural and religious systems allow you. Your freedom is false because of the rules of the game. These social games are so deeply ingrained in you that you may feel that you are choosing this or that, but really you are not choosing. The choice comes from your conditioned or cultivated mind. We cultivate a crop. In fact, all the religions, society, education system cultivating a crop of people who they can manipulate. Unless you are transformed, transform means right now you are acting in a very mechanical way. You have to walk in the society this way, talk this way. When somebody gives you, does a small favor, you are supposed to say thank you, and the children, even the smaller children, remind you, what do you have to say? So we are living in a set pattern. This is, you are operating through your false center. False center may be cultivated by Hindu priests or Christian or Muslim priests. You must say Salam Alaikum if you are a Muslim. That is the way we greet. If you belong to Raj Yoga, you cannot say anything other than Om Shanti. If you belong to another organization, you have to say Hari Om. There is a universal way of salutation. Salutation means when you are in harmony, there is no discordance. We have two sides of brain, left and right. The left brain is objective brain, the right side is subjective brain. The object orient and subjective means that is connected with your being. There is a gap between the two. If we draw a rectangle, one objective to represent objective brain, the other the subjective brain, they are not overlapping. They are always in conflict with one another. Between them is patches of our conditioned understanding, cultivated understanding. And because of that blockage, the two do not come together to make a decision. Transformation means the two are together. So way of greeting is, according to Tai Chi, there is a particular exercise. You put your hands parallel to your shoulders palms facing one another. You are bringing it closer slowly and slowly towards each other. Very slow focus. And when so this way you are bringing the objective and the subjective mind together, then they are joined. You place this hand in front of the heart center. The heart energy of love flows. The mind energy, the objective and the subjective. Objective means logic, reason. Subjective means understanding, love, harmony. So this is harmony. This is the way of greeting. Rather than one hand in the pocket, you don't know what is there in the pocket, a gun or something else, or ill thoughts, and you use one hand to shake hand. Or a simple gesture, a look says something. I have heard, I am reminded of a man who married during his lifetime 8 different women. He married the first woman, then divorced because the problems arose. Thereafter he married another woman very cautiously, very carefully, in order not to fall in the old trap, not to do the same thing again. But every time, in every way he calculated, and he thought that he was thinking that this new woman is going to be totally different than the first one. This is the story of each one of you. But within a few days, with the honeymoon not yet even over, the new woman started to prove herself to be just the same as the old one. The first one. Women, within 6 months' time, the marriage shattered again. He married a third woman. Now he was still more cautious, calculative. But the same thing happened. This is the situation with each one of us, not only marriage, but in anything else. I had told you a Sufi story. A woman was in search of knowledge. So she came to Imam Zafar Sadiq and told him, Hazrat, I had been to many masters and went through various paths, tariqat. Now that I know you are a perfect master, I come to you. And every time when she entered into a faith, she was considered wise. I have heard about Mullah Nasruddin. He said, somebody asked him, Mullah, if this man leaves his religion and comes to your Islamic religion, what would you say? Mullah said, he got senses. He left the old tradition and he has come to the right path. And what would you say for a man who left your path and went into the other? Devil captured his intelligence. He lost all senses, wisdom and everything. The act is same, one moving from one path to yours, the other moving from your path to another, but the understanding is different. So he married 8 women. Every time the woman turned out to be the same as the old one. what was happening, and he was choosing very carefully what was happening. The choice was made unconsciously. You already have a conditioned mind, cultivated mind according to your education system, according to your religious beliefs, ideas, and ideologies. So he is not really the chooser. The chooser was always the same conditioned mind, same understanding. So the choice was going to be the same. And when you leave those paths, rather than sitting in a room in a narrow individualistic understanding, you come under the sky with fresh breeze blowing, the sunlight, the rays falling on you, then you can make your choice correctly. And the one who chooses works unconsciously. That's why whatever choices you make, they are mechanical. You go on doing this and that and go on changing outward things, but remain the same within. Nothing has changed. You get angry in the same way. You walk in a same manner. When things do not happen your way, you respond in the same way. Whatsoever you do, howsoever it is, it may look apparently different. It is ultimately proves to be the same. And it is the result that determines your choices, whether you made choice very carefully with the same app. So this conditioned mind, conditioned understanding, the cultivated understanding becomes the app. You have to change the app. If you are getting again and again problem with the computer, you change the app. You try a different system. So unless whatsoever you feel, whenever you feel you are choosing and you are free, then too you are not free, you are not choosing really. You do many things on the computer. It is the app that does it. When you format something, you use Excel, or so it is within the limitations of app that you do your work. You may change the font. You are using Word or Pages to type a letter. You can change the font, you can change its size, you can change its color, but you cannot change the app. So your conditioning, your cultivated mind is nothing else but an app that has been put into you, and unless you change the app, everything will remain the same. You may change the font, the outer appearance, you may change its size to look better and more easily understandable, but ultimately it remains the same. So this is now scientists say, more so the biologists particularly, that the mind becomes imprinted, and that happens very early. The first 2 or 3 years are the years for imprinting of the child. That is why Jews circumscribe the child within 3 days, and Muslims do within a year's time. So during that, immediately the family priest is called and a name is given to the child. If you are born in a Muslim family, you are given a Muslim name and Muslim mind. And your name must have something with the Holy Prophet. Hindus, they look into their way. When you go to a Punjabi or Sardar, the Sikh, he goes to the Gurdwara to get the name given to the child. The person who is sitting on the podium in front of the holy scripture, the Guru Granth Sahib, he closes it, keeps his eyes closed, opens the page, and on the page now, whatever name comes on is used, or the first syllable, that the name will start with this syllable. That's why it is said, Hindus say that there are 1,000 names of Vishnu, Vishnu Sahasranam, 1,000 names of Vishnu. Or it is said 99 names of Allah. Naveed, Muhammad, either it comes in your middle name or it becomes the first name. So all these things are imprints. The child is forced, and this way the child is forced to be off center. He has to be disciplined. He has to learn the obedience. That is why we give so much value to obedience. And obedience destroys everyone, because obedience means now you are not at the center. You want to do something, but you are not allowed. Education is necessary in order to survive, but we make this necessary to survive an excuse for submitting. In 2009, I had a talk in Harvard University, Meditation, the Missing Dimension in Education. I had mentioned we spend 25 to 30 years of our precious life in learning this and that. We go to the university, colleges, and the best of the universities, enter into a discipline, learn the intricacies of that, and when you graduate, you are given honors. Now you are capable of living into the world. When you come out of that happily, do you have answers to the simple question that life asks you on a day-to-day basis? How not to get angry? Does your education system teaches you how not to feel frustrated or stressed? These are just as in the social media language, whenever anything comes, we say LOL. So, oh, I am stressed, I am tired, I am this, that. That has become a fashion to say. So for me, stress is improper use of your intelligence. You don't know how to use your intelligence, that's why you are stressed. You are frustrated because you don't know how to use your intelligence. You are frustrated because a particular circumstance, a situation, the particular app is not functioning, so you are frustrated. But if you know the understanding, if you have intelligence, you can try different options. And certainly, if a particular thought has come to you, that means there must be an option available to you, and you have to explore that. When we were working on making this live streaming more appropriate, because we use the three systems for live streaming: the Facebook through iPhone, YouTube through iPad, and Skype through MacBook. So there is internal microphone and external. What used to happen, the external microphone was connected to YouTube. So presentation, the voice quality on YouTube was better. But the iPhone was using the internal microphone, not the, so there was distortion, or sometimes the voice level is different. So we had to work on, and we got assistance from one person who was visiting here, and at times she tried many options, tried to look at different apps, different options, was not successful. But the search continued, and searched that what is the option, and there are choices always there for one who is ready to explore, because everyone, for everything there is a solution. It is said always in our day-to-day language, Google it. Google must have the answer for it. Or go to YouTube. Somebody must have posted a video or some message to solve your problem. And finally it got, and we needed a small device to connect it, and it worked. So this is the way we need to do. So I had mentioned, so I said this does not mean that we go to the ancient system of Nalanda and those Buddhist universities where focus was on meditation. So if meditation becomes the missing link in education, the life will be transformed. You can use your education system you have learned. You have learned the computer, you have that facility. What are you using for? In the beginning, when someone begins to learn, they go more for chatting, social network, and media, social media. When our children, they got the computer, they were whole day chatting. So I got a complaint that these children are not using, they are only using chatting. I said, this is something new, they got it. Let them chat and they finish. Now as they mature, they are not using it for chatting all the time, or calling this one and that one for chat. They are using it only very systematically and when it is needed. The same way, but they are using the computer more creatively. You are using the education more creatively, meditatively. You are cooking food, you are chef. You are cooking food meditatively, then the quality of the food will be changed. The same thing, your app will work more for you. You can design it for your own functions. For instance, my work is spiritual, so the messages, talks, and all that. Along with that, for my living, I have to do a business. So the laptop works for both. So education is necessary in order to survive, but we make this necessity to survive an excuse for submitting. We force everyone to be obedient. What does it mean? Obedient to whom? We must ask this question. Always we are obedient to someone else. We must answer to someone else. If you are conscious, it will be forced. You are given a responsibility, you must have to report to your senior, to someone else. But if you are loyal, sincere, then that condition does not apply to you, because you will take that responsibility that the place has to open at this hour. When my father was working, the office starts at a certain time, but he never reached the office that hour. During the office hours, it becomes difficult to finish the important work. So when everyone is gone after 4, he will stay in the office and continue to do the work until it is finished 6 o'clock or so. Then he will lock and seal whatever it is. So this he was doing on his own. Nobody questioned his coming late in the morning. So who you are obedient to? Always someone else, the father, the mother, someone else is there, and you have to be obedient to him. You have to report to him. Whatsoever project you do, you have to report it to him. After the project is finished, you have to go to him and give him the project. Why so much importance or the insistence is on obedience? Because your father was forced to be obedient when he was a child. Your mother was forced to be obedient when she was a child. They were forced off the centers. Now they are doing the same. I recall an incident. My father used to get angry for whatever reasons because, number one, the income was less. So when the needs arises and the resources are limited, you get angry or frustrated. So for that he used to hit us. This was a program, built-in program, because the husband has gone out. He tells the wife that today when I am coming, along with me, one of my friend will come for dinner. So you prepare the dinner or evening tea ready. When you reach home, it is not done. What happens to you? You start saying things which are not needed at that time and which will not help you to solve the problem. The similar thing, the wife had asked you in the morning to get something, and for whatever reason you forget. The same story goes on. The boss tells something, so because of financial reasons you cannot tell him anything. You have to listen to him obediently. So you come home for a simple excuse, you take out all that frustration on your wife, and now she has to get an exit somewhere else. She takes it on to the child. The girl, little child, comes and says, "Mummy, this," and so mummy is overflowing. She has to get out that anger, so she takes it on to the child. Now, what child will do? Child goes back to her room, takes the doll, wrings the neck of the doll, and finished. So she took it off, the anger on her. This is the process. Somewhere or the other, you have to make a break in that. This is how my father used to be. This is how everyone gets angry. Transformation does not mean put on your garb on Sunday morning, hold your Bible under the arm, put on the topi to go to the mosque. All these are of useless things unless they can bring a transformation in you. What was the pattern? This is how the pattern was. My father lived like that. My mother used to be. I have to make a break here. I am not going to continue the same road. That is the purpose of education. That is the purpose of transformation. And obedience, because your father was forced to be obedient when he was a child. Your mother was forced to be obedient when she was a child. They were forced this way off the center. Now they are continuing the same tradition. They are doing the same thing with their children what was done to them. If there comes a consciousness, understanding, awakening, you will make a break right there. This has to end right here. And these children will do the same thing unless they learn something else. This is how the vicious circle moves on. Freedom is destroyed, and with freedom, you lose your center. The moment your freedom is lost, your center is lost. Not that center is destroyed. It is not destroyed. It cannot be destroyed while you are alive. It may remain dormant. So what the master does, tries to activate like a travel app or the Google Map or Waze, tries to bring you on the track. When you lost your way along, you are traveling, going to a particular place, you thought that you know the way, but you lost. So you take the help from the Google Map or Waze or maybe some other apps, and it puts what it does, it puts you back. You had gone astray this way. It take a left turn and then the next right turn and straight, you are back on that. So what the master does, you are is not that the destination is lost, is not the only thing. You went off track, off road. You went in the wrong direction. So he changes it, brings you back on the road to reach to that faster. It may happen depending on how much you have served from your path. It will take time. Once there is determination, if you remain adamant that no, I will find my way, I will not look at the app, But what does the wisdom in the modern terminology says? Before you leave to go to a place, before you start, you look at the Google map. You can print the Google map. You are traveling from by road from Chicago to Washington. You print a road map so it is there in front of you. Or you have the map that will guide you. You can put on to the voice and it will guide you to follow a particular way in a very pleasant manner. Are you ready? Let us start. Let's go. So, Master is bringing you back onto the track so that you can go back to your center, your life becomes normal, and now if you choose to be just reach the destination or go beyond that, this all depends on you. If you were totally false, off center, no real center hidden within you, you would be at ease. There would be no conflict, no anxiety, no struggle. But the center could not be destroyed while you are alive. It would be good if it was destroyed. You would be more at ease with yourself. But the fact is that center, you are going for a destination. The destination where you have reached has never vanished from your memory at that time. It remains there. So you are off track. You are searching, but you don't seek the assistance of the Google map or Waze or something else. But if the goal was not there, it would have been no problem. Conflict comes into existence because the real remains there. The center remains there. It remains in the center, and just on the periphery, an unreal center is created. Between these two centers, the real center and the false center, there is a constant struggle, a constant anxiety, and tension is created. This must be transformed. And there is only way. The false must disappear and give way to the real. You must be regrounded into your center. As long as you are not searching the help and you are off track going round and round. I was once watching a show on Sesame Street. There were two characters, Ernie and Bert. Bert was kind of a stupid mannerisms. So Bert said, Ernie, we are lost. So Ernie said, he has a particular kind of a giggle laugh. He said, no, Bert, we are not lost. We are right here. This is a very good statement. We are not lost. We are here. We have to just search. And this is the purpose of the spiritual process of transformation. Not to be a Hindu, not to become a Muslim, not to become a Christian. If you are following a Hindu path in that way, you will be a better Hindu, a better Muslim, not conditioned. Not your identity will be bigger. Your identity will be infinite, unlimited. beyond the known, but you are following this path. You can be a person, you can cook in a particular manner. That is a path. That is your culture. You can follow Islamic culture or a Hindu culture or Christian culture, but religion means you have certain qualities in you, the quality of compassion, the quality of 10 different qualities. At another time I will explain to you. And for that, you need not follow. You can be atheist and you can be religious. Religiousness does not mean being a Hindu, Muslim, or Christian. As long as you follow those word that we understand very easily, commandments, the 10 qualities are inculcated in you. Are you compassionate? Are you full of understanding? And as long as that is there is no problem. This false can disappear, and you may have to go a little more astray to come back on the mainstream, the path that will lead you to your destination. Only this much for this morning. Until we meet again, take care and do have a pleasant day.